It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS.
Good morning. I trust we are all okay after the big day yesterday.
Ooh, boy, wasn't it?
Man, what a frenzy, huh?
What happened?
Apparently yesterday was Amazon Prime Day.
Oh, I napped through it. Damn
Yeah,
it.
you and me both. I'm in a place in life where I don't like to buy anything. I'm fine with. I have enough clothes to last me to the end of time because I don't mind wearing them all 1,000 times. I don't like. I go to the grocery store and I fill the cart, and then before I get to checkout, I just start going, I don't really need those crackers. I don't know. I'm just trying to simplify things, and every purchase I make, and it's probably because there was a time in my life when I was buying a bunch of stupid crap. Just an Amazon Prime Day to the young Steve Gorman, the Steve Gorman that was in his 20s and 30s, I would have been like, oh, yeah, let's load up. And then I would have woken up just in a shame-filled spiral today.
Yeah, I know it. I get into a spiral of just buying socks on Amazon. I would just get, bored, and I'd go on and buy like 12 different pair of $15 socks,
Right.
All these awesome socks, most of which I don't even have anymore. I have a lot of singles. I have an entire laundry basket of just singles. In fact, today I'm wearing 2 unmatching socks because it was early and I didn't want to go through it. But, yeah, I'm at that point in my life, too. I do have a quick question, if I could back up a second. When you decide that you don't want something at the grocery store, do you go put it back where it belongs?
I do. Having worked in a grocery store, having worked retail in several different realms, I'm good about putting things where they belong, just because I figure, there's karma to be considered.
Yeah, don't you hate that when you see ice cream sitting on the shelf with rice?
With rice.
Yeah,
or rice and the ice cream. And I do double back as well. I don't like that, but I see people doing that all the time. They'll just shove it on that shelf. Well, what
Candace, Amazon Prime Day, did you get anything going?
I did get some sunglasses, like some Ozzy Osbourne-ish looking sunglasses.
You'll never regret that purchase.
Yeah, but they were only like $10, so.
No, that's fantastic. I mean, but we've all got, I'm sure we all have a laundry list of, why did I buy that? What the hell was I thinking? There is a list of things that we were just looking at of regretful purchases. My favorite is a guy said he paid a website $10 for secrets on how to become a millionaire. He ended up getting a PDF emailed to him that showed him how to build a website and then use that website to charge people $10 for secrets on how to become a millionaire.
That's clever.
That's just good old-fashioned pyramid scheming, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ever get duped? Anybody ever buy into a pyramid scheme?
Oh, not quite, but I have 2 other words for you.
What's that?
Timeshare.
Oh, really?
You got a timeshare?
Young married couple, we went in for the free airfare to take the kids to Disney World or whatever.
Right.
And sat through it and you know what? We can go up north and it'd be nice once a year. We have a place for a couple of weeks, a young budding family. We can't afford a cabin. And, oh, man, was that a hell of a thing to get out of. It was easier to get out of the marriage than it was the timeshare. In fact, I think that's why we originally decided to divorce, was to negate the timeshare.
There are law firms who specialize in simply getting people out of timeshares.
Now they do. And by the way, those law firms charge, I think, about as much as you'd lose on the timeshare.
Worst purchase I ever made, and I immediately think about big purchases. There's a million, why did I buy that shirt? What was I thinking? That's not my style, whatever. But I bought a car that was a complete lemon. And I mean, like the lemoniest lemon ever. In the early 90s, I bought a Range Rover, and it was awesome until it decided to just occasionally stop operating when it wanted to. Like at a red light on a Friday afternoon in traffic, it would just shut down and not be able to turn on again. And I got my car. That truly happened, and an old friend of mine happened to drive by, got out, helped me push my car off the side of the road, and this gentleman happened to be English, and he looked at me and said, why would you buy a car made by English people? And I go, oh, my God, it's just that simple. He goes, do you know how drunk people are that work in car factories in England? And I was like, oh, yeah, I guess you're right. And I couldn't get out of I couldn't sell the car because the word was out. The 93 long wheel base was a lemon. Don't buy them. In fact, the guy at the dealership, when they had to come tow the car in, it was dead on the side of the road. and you couldn't even tow it. You had to put it on the back of a flatbed. He said, the head mechanic goes, hey, man, if you want to look at a calendar, I will fill in the next 6 months of all the things that are about to go wrong with this car.
Wow.
And I was like, you could have told me that when I was test driving it.
Yeah, they
maybe.
don't.
No. And then tried to sell it, but and couldn't get anywhere near what I'd paid for it. And I was trying to get rid of it, and I would tell people, listen, you need to talk to the guy at the dealer. There's some trouble here. I wasn't about to saddle somebody with a horrible car. Not that I'm a great guy. I just figured I'd get sued or something more too. I'm like, oh man, I can't sell this expensive piece of crap to some dupe. And the dude who bought it lived out on a farm, and he said, I'm never going to take it over 10 miles an hour. It's great for off-road. And long story short, I never heard from him again. So I'm assuming he was happy. But that car will always haunt me. It will forever haunt me. And in fact, I don't buy much of anything made in England ever since.
I wonder what else they make over there.
Well, I will drink a beer. I will drink a pint of English beer on occasion.
Yeah,
that's about it.
Mary Ann, by the way, if you're listening out there, thank you, darling. Those little chocolates with booze in them, don't buy the American ones. I don't know what they're putting in there, but in England they put actual booze in their chocolate. Those are pretty nice. I like those.
I think in England they put booze in everything. You can get a pair of your socks and they'll have booze in them.
I love it. Just don't get socks made by people eating those socks with booze. What? No. We're talking about horrible purchases you've made coming off Amazon Prime. Maybe there's one that's fresh. We all have one. I have a rowing machine story I can't wait to share with you later on. Yeah, well, it's Mike Evans' Hollywood Report coming at 6:30. Hang tight.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show. Somebody to Love by Queen, a song Freddie Mercury wrote with Aretha Franklin in mind. How on earth we never got her into a studio to sing that song is beyond me. I mean,
can you imagine?
Seriously. Who was responsible for not being responsible and getting her into a studio to sing that one? I mean, I got no beef with Fred's version. I'm just saying. Whoo, baby. Gives me chills just to think about. And with that, it is time for the Hollywood Report from the man Julia Roberts still says is the one that got away, Mike Evans. Good morning, Mike.
Come on, man. Come on now. Good morning. Hey, do you like pecan pie?
I do like pecan pie. Thank you.
Today is National Pecan Pie Day. Yeah.
I had no idea.
There you go.
Oh.
So friends of Prince Harry and Meghan say that Harry absolutely hates, more than anything, being in front of people and public appearances. And on the other hand, Meghan absolutely loves, more than anything, being in front of people and doing personal appearances.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in this case, I don't think opposite attract. I still think that marriage is on shaky ground. I don't know. But
he's going to wake up one day and realize I turned myself into a pumpkin and I'm ready to get back into that carriage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We got 8 odds and ends for you. So Tom Cruise has been using the excitement and publicity of his new Mission Impossible movie to try to recruit some more members of Scientology. Also asking help from Will Smith and Jenna Elfman and Giovanni Ribisi and Elizabeth Moss, all members of Scientology.
Boy.
That reminds me, Mission Impossible opens today and is expected to make $270 million the first weekend. That could be some kind of record.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
It's interesting. They put that whole video out like last year of him riding the motorcycle off the cliff. They basically just showed the entire world how that stunt came together. And I thought, there was a time when people would have said that's going to hurt ticket sales. But no, I think it drove it. I think people like the more material they can get and ahead of time. They know what they're doing. They're gonna fill those theaters.
And it's not CGI. People want to see that real stuff now.
I totally agree. Despite Elton John's tear-filled goodbye, farewell, see ya, final concert this week, is it true? Elton John's going to do more concerts.
Well, he's not going to tour, though. He'll do the one-off occasionally, but full-on touring. Coming to a city near you, I think that's done.
Except when he does it for charities. That's the only time,
Okay.
Hey, somebody needs to call the Wambulance on this Rainn Wilson.
Okay.
He made millions and millions of dollars while playing Dwight Schrute on The Office. Rainn says that he was miserable shooting the show, that he deserved and should have been made a bigger star on the show. You know, Rain should have heard my dad. Every time I complained about anything, my dad would always snap at me. I cried because I had no shoes until I met a man that had no feet. Rain Wilson needs to shut the front door.
Fake news. He didn't say that. Fake news.
Uh-oh.
Fake news.
What the?
He went on his Instagram and said it's clickbait.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Aretha Franklin had 4 sons, and at one point, all of the sons and the family's lawsuits were challenging Aretha's will, despite a written will found in her couch. Do you know Aretha had her first son when she was only 13 years old?
I am aware of that. I did not know that she filed things in the furniture, though.
That is a little odd, yes. A new book written by a former White House chief of staff, who also wrote it with the chef, the White House chef. I thought the most interesting thing in it was that Donald Trump and Bill Clinton ate a lot of burgers, sometimes a couple times a week. Mm-hmm. And then Michelle Obama forced Barack to eat healthy, but as soon as her back was turned, he would make pizza. And George Bush every weekend made his homemade Texas chili. Just some of the things went on in the kitchen in the White House.
They say the White House chefs are top notch. I'm not surprised to hear that.
Not at all.
What would you go with, Mike? What would your staple be? Were you elected president of the United States and you had access to the White House kitchen? What would be your late night secret hit?
See, late night. I would think fried avocados.
Okay, fair enough.
What the hell is that? What the hell is that? Either that or Cheerios. I like cereal at night too.
Yeah, no, Cheerios are good any time of day. That's true.
Yeah. And hey, you got to watch TV tonight on Netflix. Quarterback, and being featured is Patrick Mahomes and Marcus Mariota and Kirk Cousins is going to be featured tonight.
Right. Yeah.
We
were discussing errant, regretful purchases earlier in the show, and now we got Kirk Cousins on TV. So maybe there's a connection.
I'm going to watch it. I'm excited.
Yeah.
And what did you think of the All-Star game last night?
In what, baseball?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see it. I'm kidding. I was busy, tied up. I did see the score. I guess the National League won 3-2. The All-Star game, it's. I don't care. You know, nothing made me angrier than when they actually gave it weight. When they said, "Hey, the winning league in the All-Star game is the home team in the World Series." That enraged me. I thought that was the dumbest thing ever. The All-Star game is just an exhibition. It's all in fun, and I think they've gone back to looking at it that way, and that's the way it should be.
I think the home team for the World Series should be the team that won the most games that year.
100%. Yeah.
There you go. Hey, have a great day. We'll talk to you tomorrow. See you.
Right on. Thank you, Mike Evans. National Pecan Pie Day. Who knew?
Now, so you could order anything in the world with top-notch chefs, and you went with bowl of cereal. Yeah.
And fried avocado.
They'll spit. If you send an order back to a top-notch chef for Cheerios, you're going to get spit in your Cheerios. Yeah.
Can I get some? It's 2 a.m. Can I get some Cheerios with oat milk? You know what? Live a little, for crying out loud.
Right.
I do love pecan pie, and I was dating a girl in high school, and the first time I went to her house for dinner, I had dinner with the family, and after dinner or before we ate, her mom said, "Can I get you a soft drink?" And I said, "Yeah. Do you have root beer?" She goes, "No, we don't. We have Coke and we have Mr. Pibb." I said, "Okay, I'll have a Coke." And then after dinner, she said, "How about some pie? We've got a few options." And I said, "Do you have pecan?" She said, "No, we've got apple." And I said, "Okay, great, whatever." The next time I went over there was root beer and pecan pie, which is really lovely, isn't it? I interpreted that. I felt nothing but pressure. I thought, what kind of mom buys food for her daughter's boyfriend to be? I what are you gonna? What am I supposed to get married now? I literally was like, no way, man! I am out of here.
That's nice. That was the right reaction. I'm right there with you, shoulder to shoulder. No, it's a trap. Mom is setting a trap.
I'm 16 years old. Back off by being nice to me.
Yeah, don't do it. Yeah.
Hey, I get trapped by dads all the time, too. Goes both ways, boys.
Yeah, but is there a son involved?
Funny.
All right, hey, how about a history lesson? Let's look back.
So, my friend, how do we begin?
Who is
is in charge here?
Who is in charge?
He plays the drums.
Well, hello, Steve.
It is July the 12th, and on this day in 1979, at Comiskey Park in Chicago, Disco Demolition Night. Remember this? The Chicago White Sox hosted the Tigers for a doubleheader, and in between games, a promotion from a radio station, they said, hey, everybody bring your disco records, and we'll blow them all up on the field. What could possibly go wrong? This was, again, not after the game, but in between games of a doubleheader. A whole bunch of people, when they started blowing up disco records because it was all about rock purity, rushed the field. The field was so damaged by the explosion and then a full-scale riot that the second game was forfeited to the Detroit Tigers. Mm-hmm. Disco Demolition Night. What? How many drunk people agreed on that ahead of time?
Oh, all of them. All of them raised their hand and said, let's do it, man. Oh,
you know what we should do? Let's blow up some of those disco records that the kids like. I can't do a Chicago accent, but that's what it was. And speaking of Chicago, Dick Butkus had the quote of the day back in the day when he once said, I never set out to hurt anybody unless it was important, like a league game or something. Come on, man. That's pretty strong.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. Zep, Tony, Candace, and Steve Gorman are the KQ Morning Show. 92 KQRS.
Wednesday, July the 12th, 2023. It is not 1983, but When Every Breath You Take by the Police plays, it might as well be. I'm just driving around my small town with the Synchronicity cassette, listening to that song over and over and over. I truly can close my eyes and go right back there. So, hey, thanks, Sting. Nice song. Does the job.
I can't tell if you're joking or not.
I'm dead serious. When that song plays, I'm gone, man. It's 1983
really?
all over again.
I feel
100%.
like he's joking, Candace. I'm teasing you.
I could get emotional about this right now.
Cry.
I could. That was a good summer, man. That was a good record.
83 was a good summer.
I think of Eddie Grant, Electric Avenue in 83.
Oh, yeah. Hey, man, my senior trip. I graduated high school in 83 and went to Florida with the senior class in May. And every bar that I went into with my older brother's ID, Electric Avenue was just cranking.
Yeah.
Bow. Out in the street. Oh, yeah. Come on, man.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Huge. There's a street in Venice, California, Venice Beach, California. There's an Electric Avenue. And I have driven by it in my life many times, and I always go, out in the daytime. I just start doing it because how can you not? You had to be there, Candace. Trust me.
I'm jealous.
You should be jealous. Man, it was all happening in 1983. Prince was singing about 1999 back in 1983.
That's right.
Yeah, baby.
Hilarious.
We have all made crazy purchases in our life, or regretful purchases, or stupid purchases. Yesterday was Amazon Prime Day, and there was a list of things people were mentioning. There was an article we saw where people were talking about silly things they bought or things they regret. There's a lot of timing. It made sense at the time. My wife and I booked a very, very exclusive and exquisite vacation months in advance, which we had never done. We were always fly the seat of our pants. Hey, do you want to go somewhere next month? That made sense. Let's find a place to go. 6 months before a holiday vacation to an island. And I mean, it was, we were like, let's splurge. What was happening at that time was my band was on tour with Jimmy Page, and we were playing Led Zeppelin songs and playing to many, many, many thousands of people a night. And it was a good year, or at least it was going to be. And then Jimmy blew his back out, and the tour was canceled. And I had just paid, just slapped leather, as they say, on a really nice vacation for the end of the year. And there I am in August going, when you say non-refundable, what does that actually mean? But what about the extenuating circumstances?
Right.
What does non-refundable mean? What it meant was we took that vacation and I kind of enjoyed it.
Yeah. Right.
That's what I get for upgrading and going to a really nice place instead of just something cool.
Did you say it was one of those all-inclusive places?
No, it wasn't. It was,
So,
but
yeah,
it was a resort on an island that you had to get on like several planes to get there.
Yeah.
It was one of those.
Right.
Never before or since did we book a trip like that one.
Yeah, that gets you. But that's, I mean, you can't lay that one on yourself. That's circumstances.
No, it was.
If you put that in the act of God stuff, act of Jimmy stuff, perhaps.
Well, he did have a bad back.
Yeah.
Oh, and one of the guys in my band pissed him off. But we don't have to talk about that.
I read all
Now you
about
want to
it.
hear me cry, Candace. Now,
Yeah, please.
now the tears will come. On the KQRS Facebook page, we're asking for some outrageous purchases that we regret, or maybe we don't. Lisa posted, I went to a, quote, free dinner with my husband 30 years ago. I ended up buying pots, pans, and a juicer.
All right.
I don't know when the bill came, it was thousands of dollars.
What?
And someone responded, how? She goes, I'm still trying to figure out how that works.
Oh, man.
I'm just assuming alcohol was involved.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I mean, why thousands of dollars for pots and pans? Although I did have to, in this last year, acquire some pots and pans. I'd always just inherited them before, but I found myself in a situation where I needed to buy pots and pans. I had no idea they could get so freaking expensive. I didn't spend a lot of money on them because I don't really use them that much. In fact, they're still in the box a couple of months later, but
They're there when you're ready.
they're there when I'm ready.
I speaking of alcohol and purchases, I did once while flying home. And by the way, I'm a guy who anytime I'm at an airport, and there's basically a mall in every big airport now. You go to MSP, there's just like shopping opportunities galore, and you're like, who's going to shopping at the airport? Like, who's browsing a jewelry store at the airport? Well, this drunk idiot did once. And I thought, I'm going to get something for Rosemary. And I bought these. I literally bought a pair of diamond earrings at an airport. And the worst part of it, they were not good. They were gaudy and big and nothing she would have ever worn in a million years. That's how drunk I was in between flights. Look what I got. Look what I got for you. And she literally was like, you did not buy these. That's like, I was like, you mean thank you? She's like, no. What is wrong with you? I'm like, nothing's wrong with me. I just need coffee and love.
Did she have to drive back out to the airport and return the issue?
No. She would have had to fly to the airport. It was not our local airport.
It wasn't even the local airport.
Those bad boys just sat. They sat on the chest of drawers for many, many years. And I don't know what happened to them. I could find out, but I never asked. She never told.
Christy on the KQ Facebook page, a purchase that I believe she regrets. I bought a small, ridiculously expensive Longaburger recipe box. Does anyone know what that is? A Longaburger, Longa burger recipe box. My friend told me for the price, when I die, my ashes should go in it. I don't know what that is.
Wow.
Yeah, a really expensive recipe box. I can see you waking up one day and going, why? Well, back when I used to be very physically active, back in the good old days when everything worked well and I wanted to just show it off and get out and use it and experience it, I worked out quite a bit. And I bought a rowing machine. I thought, I just want a row. I'm going to also row between softball and football and running. And I used to just go out to the Metrodome and just run the stairs, just, for kicks. So I used it once to just this is how it works. Great. And then it sat there for the next 10 years. I had to move it. It's a pain in the ass.
It's where you hung your clothes.
Yeah. Well, that's a treadmill. The treadmill, you hang clothes all over it. But yeah, you can throw a lot of stuff under the old rowing machine. Even tried one time to have a little sexual fun on it with someone, but that didn't really work out. So it didn't really. Yeah, it didn't work. You'd think so with the rowing machine. Think about it. Just visualize it. But it didn't so much. Yeah. So then I eventually ended up dumping and selling the damn thing. Of course, now I kind of wish I had it. I could use something to do now that I don't do anything. But that was a big regret. I remember
I imagine on the list of all of the workout equipment that people never use like they think, I think rowing machines got to be on top of that list. Because it sounds like a great idea. It feels good when you do it at the gym, but I'm just picturing getting home and sitting on that thing. I'd be like, what was I? Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed.
I can't work out at home, period.
I had to live I lived in small spaces. I still do too. And you just couldn't avoid it, that damn thing. It was just like that roommate that you don't want to live with any longer. And there they are on the couch again. Maria, I like this one. I would always get a surprise. I would always get a surprise email in the morning as to what outrageous things I purchased the night before when I took my Ambien. One morning I found out my cousin was getting $350 worth of Omaha steaks. Thank you, Maria.
Wow.
And apparently, I believe Cindy Crawford and ordered meaningful beauty crap. And there's a lot more. Oh, yeah.
There is.
That Ambien. You got to handcuff yourself to the bed or something.
Candace, you just mentioned a second ago you don't like working out at home. You don't have a spin cycle thing at home?
Hell no.
No?
No, I don't do anything at home.
But you're an instructor. How do you practice instructing?
It comes natural to me, Steve. No, I don't know. I've always had to do group fitness classes, and that's how I got into teaching spin too, from taking spin classes. So I just need people around me because at home I just like to lie down.
I made a very foolish, questionable fitness purchase when I was a teen. These were advertised on the back of magazines, comic book and stuff. It was the Charles Atlas course. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah, I do know what you're talking about.
I ordered it, and it's like a little pamphlet / comic book with drawings. It's called Dynamic Tension, on how basically you just kind of put your hands together and push them against each other.
Oh,
it was $5.
What?
It was a huge deal at the time.
Soon after, you were the guy kicking sand in the face of weenies on the beach. Remember how they sold you that?
Yeah, of course.
I remember those.
It did sell me.
Yeah, it was a big tough guy kicking sand in your face. No, don't put up with it any longer. Get on the Atlas program.
Who knew that you would then years later be on a morning show where our goal every day is to achieve optimum dynamic tension?
It was a lightning bolt underneath it too to
Sure
emphasize.
Tony, I was expecting you to say, when thinking about regretful purchases, I was hoping there's a bin with yellow cowboy hats. Snakeskin boots, just bizarre late night Tony back in the day thinking about maybe I'll go with a cowboy vibe this year. Maybe I'll just wear a cop suit and walk around and see what happens. Come on.
I got a voice altering space helmet for $40. I used it a couple times and then it broke, but it was a great fun.
Oh, I wish you still had that.
Absolutely.
I had a helmet that I got in high school, and it was a hard plastic helmet, and it had a chin strap, and on the chin strap was a microphone. And the top of the helmet had a speaker, so it was like a microphone helmet. I guess people would use on some work site somewhere, all in one. And my high school, during homecoming week, every day was a different themed day. And one day was hat day. So everybody in school got to wear hats. And I wore that in and kept the microphone on. And I was in class, and I literally, every teacher would be like, Steve, turn the microphone off. And on the mic, I'd be like, but it's hat day, and this is my hat. I have to keep the microphone on. This is hat day. This is my hat. And I spent a whole day at school walking around with an amplified voice like that. And then, of course, I couldn't speak normally. I even talk louder into the microphone. Of course.
Yes.
But the thing was, every teacher would be annoyed, and I was a hero for the day. Yes. Everybody would laugh so hard, and then they just have to move on with the class, and then eventually I'd stop talking in the microphone.
It's a megaphone hat.
Yeah. It was incredible.
That other kid that thought he had the outrageous hat just felt like
Oh no, I kicked everyone's ass that day.
I'd like to use that for my next remote broadcast. I'm just going to use that hat. See if
I got to track one down. I mean, I can still. I mean, it was yellow and blue, and it was just incredible.
Yeah, that does sound incredible. Tim bought himself some silk sheets and pillows, but he kept sliding out of bed. They do sound nice, don't they? But they're so dang slippery. You got to make sure your bed's level. Tim.
There was a flannel sheet purchase once, and it was like, oh, these are going to be so comfortable. The more you use them and they break in, they get so soft. And I might as well try to sleep in a sauna.
Yeah.
I was just like, no, I'm not. I don't need my legs to be that wet with sweat when I'm trying to sleep. Sorry, that's not how I roll.
No, they come in handy when you're living in a camper for a couple of years.
Sure.
Then you'd double down on. You double up on your flannel sheets, but
I
otherwise,
love flannel sheets. I think that's the most Minnesotan thing about me is how much I love flannel sheets.
Well, now in Minnesota, I can see the thinking. Not so much in Georgia. A little different situation down there. Hey, 92 KQRS's Rock the Boat 80s Party is sold out, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, we are going to be on a sold-out boat, baby. The only way on that boat is to win tickets, so keep listening for your chance. We're talking about the Rock the Boat 80s party Friday, July 21st with Paddleford River Boats. We're going to launch from Harriet Island in downtown St. Paul. It will be a fine night of drinks, free food from Lucky's 13 Pub, and live music from Rough House. So keep on listening.
That does sound like a good time. Talking about, I'm just sitting here on the KQ Facebook page looking at purchases people that regretted or outrageous purchases, or some people are just using it as an opportunity to put on really cool things that they own. Way off base, but just want to brag about cool things they own. Hey, it's there for whatever you'd like to use. We'll keep rolling with that here at 7:30. Might have to talk about this. Have you ever seen about the Burger King's newest burger? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm kind of excited about it, too. I'm looking at pictures of it.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show. It is Wednesday, July the 12th. We've been discussing weird things we've purchased, outrageous things that we've purchased, things that we regret purchasing. And Zep, you now mentioned something about there's a new burger. Burger King has a new burger that might lead to some regret. Is that what I'm getting?
All sorts of blockage here. Too much of a good thing, perhaps. They're just offering it in Thailand right now, but just wait. It's a meatless burger. Now, normally, I'm no fan of a meatless burger. Not terribly against it.
But it's a healthy choice, generally.
It's a healthy choice, generally, I guess. We don't know what they're growing in the labs yet or how they're growing it. However, this one is a cheeseburger. They've just gotten rid of the meat and just stacked up, 30 slices of cheese and then put it in a bun.
30 slices?
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be at least 30 slices. This thing is Big Mac high. Yeah. Sorry, Burger King, to use the Big Mac reference there, but it's Big Mac high, thick. Oh, here it is, 20 slices of cheese and a burger bun. No sauce. 20 slices of cheese, burger bun, nuke it for, 15, 20, 30 seconds, and you've got yourself the all-cheese cheeseburger.
That's something to make at home. So easy. Is it different kinds of cheese?
No, it's not. It's
you
just
can't make that at home, Tony.
That's like after bar close, you stumble home. That's exactly what you make.
No.
Make a cheeseburger
It
at
would
home
not
also.
taste the same. There's a distinct flavor combination of that bread and
connoisseur
that cheese.
You.
I think this looks good.
It does, and there's different. You're right. There's McDonald's cheese is only McDonald's cheese. You can't get that flavor anywhere else. I don't know what they're putting in there again. A healthy option, like Steve mentioned.
I'm just trying to think about, if I put down this cheese, it's not a cheeseburger, it's a cheeser, I want to call it.
Yeah.
20 slices of cheese, so let's just call it a pound of cheese. I'm trying to figure out, exactly how much Metamucil is going to be required over the following 24 hours to undo the damage, if you will, if that thing goes down my gullet. That's unbearably, too much of a good thing for sure.
Metamucil and pencil. Some of those pencils.
You're going to need a lot.
Yeah, some of those. Well, I know a guy that has 70,000 of them.
Yeah, that's true. There is a guy in Iowa with 70,000 pencils. I can't think about constipation and pencil solutions right now. That's just too much for me. That would definitely put me in some peril. Although not exactly phone peril. How about this one? The average person experiences 140 moments of what they call phone peril in a year, as in you drop your phone on the ground or you just can't find it. Even if it's just for a few seconds, those are some of the more alarming seconds of the modern world. 140 times a year, there is a phone-induced panic. I think that number is almost kind of low. You know what I mean? You think about the number of times you're like, where's my phone? Or did I leave my phone on? Did I text the wrong thing to the wrong person? Yeah, I would. I'm sure for my kids who are on their phones like kids are these days, it's probably once a day at least.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I think my phone-inducing panic was just that someone would find all my secrets. But now that it's password protected, face locked, I don't worry about losing it quite as much.
What kind of secrets are in your phone?
Secrets, man.
Recipes.
Secrets. Yeah, just, the usual secrets that we all keep, every one of us.
Zep's famous pot pie.
Mm-hmm. just a lot.
I never knew
pot,
it was the
pie.
saffron that sets it apart. It's,
really gives it that.
Who knew the chicken pot pie with saffron in the crust?
Yes.
A Zepp family special.
Saffron. I thought that was a color. It's not. It's an ingredient.
I think it's a spice, a Persian spice, if memory serves.
Cultured son of a bitch, you.
Candace, any secrets in your phone?
I got some.
Everyone has secrets in their phone.
I like when I ask Candace if she has any secrets, and she goes right to like a cat woman. Lord.
Yeah, I got some notes in there. They're password protected, though, so
Right.
you have to cut off my face to access them.
Right. You want to see someone panic? Pick up their phone. Just anyone. Could be your spouse, could be a coworker, just anyone. Just if it's laying there near them, just pick it up and look at it and watch their reaction.
I did that. You know, my wife called me out several times. She's like, "What, guy? You're so worried about your phone. You're so touchy with your phone," because somebody, she or one of the kids would grab it. And when the kids were little, I used to say like, "Well, they'll open up an email where I'm cussing someone out, or there's a photo that you and I think is funny, but that's whatever." I'm like, "Yeah, it's an adult phone. The kids shouldn't see it." And then one day she was like, "Yeah, but if I pick up your phone, I can tell you're nervous." And I was like, "Really?" And then I told myself, like, just leave the phone on the table, let it, but because there's nothing in there I didn't want her to see, but I did. I was like weirded out by my own wife grabbing my phone for a while. And then I was like, wait, this makes no sense. I'm acting suspicious. I'm acting like there's something on there. And then I noticed when I would set it there, or if, I'd say, "Here, Google this." I would hand her the phone, like, to make a point, and she'd be like, "Oh, now you're just trying to make me." And I was like, "Well, yeah, I am. I'm trying to figure out why I was so weird about anybody grabbing my phone." But I had a whole thing like that. So yeah, I guess I'm not as weird as I thought.
It's a personal thing, right? I mean, our phone, because like you said, what do we interact with most during the day? Our phone. More than anything else, we interact with our phone most, and it has our calls on there, our bills, and just, everything. We are our phone. Well, this fleshy thing is just the vessel that carries around me, which is my phone.
It's like peeking into your diary when you were younger.
Yeah. It's all in
I'm
there.
sorry. I was looking at a text from yesterday. What were you saying?
Exactly. It's unnerving when a stranger just picks up something so personal.
Yeah, but again, it was my wife. It wasn't a stranger. I was like, well, I don't know what's going on here. This is really strange.
Let's play a game.
Let's play a game.
Each of us share the last photo we took. And yeah, well, maybe that won't be that cool.
I'll need a drink.
Are you
and then
serious?
hold it up. Be great.
Oh, my last photo is of me drinking, actually. There it is, yeah.
You took a selfie of you drinking?
I do, every drink. Every time I have an alcoholic beverage, I take a selfie. And then I post it on social
Must
media.
be 100,000 of them in there.
7.
All right.
My last photo is of a cat. I was at a friend's house last night, and I took a picture of their cat.
You just take pictures of random cats?
Yeah.
But not random. It was a friend's cat. And it's a black cat with white little mittens and a little white ascot.
That's
he's
darling.
got that
All right.
tuxedo-looking cat, and he's just adorbs.
All right, I'll play along. Last photo I took, I was helping a friend find some pink tickets. All right, she's not very savvy when it comes to doing the ticket broker, the aftermarket ticket thing, and she really wants to go see Pink. So I was helping her track down some Pink tickets, and then I took a screenshot because it was so unbelievable to me that on this ticket broker site, you can buy a Pink, performing here soon, VIP package for between, anyone want to take an outlandish guess? Guess something impossibly high for a VIP package. Go ahead, Steve. Give it a shot.
$1,250.
All right, VIP packages between $454,000 and $1 million. I mean, does she sleep with you?
Is there a hot oil foot massage involved?
Right, $454,000 to $1 million for the VIP package.
She's amazing.
Does she fly you to Thailand on her private plane so you can get one of those cheeser burger things?
Yes, that's wow. Yeah, maybe. I don't know, but I took a screenshot of it yesterday because I was so dumbfounded by it. But it doesn't say what's included. I guess you have to have the secret code. You have to be in the Billionaires Club, I guess.
That right there is preposterous.
I would love to go.
Seriously.
I heard she's amazing because she does that aerial stuff.
Yeah.
Right. A woman at her age? Oh, be careful.
The show's great. She's a heck of a performer,
Yes.
but I wouldn't spend $455,000 to go hang out with John Lennon's ghost.
It's the KQ Morning Show. 92 KQRS. Zep, Tony, Candace, and Steve Gorman are the KQ Morning Show. 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show, Wednesday, July the 12th. Good morning. Oh, it's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful time of day. It's a beautiful time because we're about to play a game with a couple of listeners. We've got tickets we're going to give away. A band called the Eagles from California. Maybe you're familiar with some of their catalog. They're playing at the XL Energy Center Friday, November the 17th. They're bringing along Steely Dan just to really shove it down your throat how much music today sucks. Eagles and Steely Dan at the XL Energy Center. And we have got some tickets to lay on a listener. But as I mentioned, they're going to have to compete. They're going to have to play a game. To the victor go the spoils. Tony Lee, what game are we playing today?
Time for another odd and ridiculous game that's often a resounding success and sometimes a colossal flop, but the prizes always rock.
We wouldn't have it any other way.
We're going to focus on the Dan, as in Steely Dan, not the dildo made famous in William Burroughs' novel Naked Lunch. No, sir.
Wow.
But the incredible band performing with the Eagles. We present the challenging Dan, Danny, or Daniel. The answers to every question will be a Dan, a Danny, or a Daniel. It's professional grade fun is what it is.
For the record, true story, there's a band in the 80s from Chapel Hill, North Carolina, and they still reunite and play sometimes. Mm-hmm. They were called the Veld, spelled V-E-L-D-T, and they were led by twin brothers, and the twin brothers' names were Danny and Daniel.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So, it happens sometimes. So basically, I guess what you're saying is if Danny and Daniel had the dildo from Naked Lunch, that would have been the trifecta.
You summarized it perfectly.
All right, good to know. Tony Lee with the literary drop no one saw coming. And now let's give away some tickets, shall we, Candace? Who is contestant number one?
Angel from Burnsville.
Angel, good morning.
Good morning. How are you, Steve?
Great, thank you very much. How's your day so far?
So far, we're doing good. I'm at work.
Okay.
I got work to do, so it's a plus. I'll say that right now.
Yeah, I like you taking a quick moment to try to win some tickets on the job. That's our kind of caller right there. So Tony's going to lead you down the road of Dan, Danny, or Daniel, and I wish you luck, sir.
All right, thank you.
All right, my friend, these are just multiple choice. Number one, he's a beloved actor and comedian, a conehead, a blues brother, a Ghostbuster, a Canadian, and co-founder of the House of Blues. Is it A, Daniel Paranoid, B, Dan Aykroyd, or C, Dan Tana?
Dan. Wasn't Dan Tana the actor on Vegas or something?
Yes, you're correct. So not that one.
No, it's Dan Aykroyd, though.
That is right.
Sure is.
You knew Dan Tana. That's awesome.
I don't think this is Angel's first time on the show. Your voice is starting to sound a little familiar, buddy. Good to hear you again. Let's go for number two.
Great. No, thanks.
All right, Angel, number two. Cantankerous Louis De Palma on Taxi, Arnold Schwarzenegger's twin, Frank Reynolds, in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. He's under 5 feet tall. A, Danny DeLover. B, Danny DeDoctor. C, Danny DeVito.
Oh, he was married to that one girl on Cheers. I think it still is. That's Danny DeVito.
Right. Rhea Perlman was his love.
Oh,
wow.
Carla.
I love the color commentary from Angel. It's fantastic.
Number three.
We got to live it up,
That's a fact, brother.
All right, Ange. Number three, as Detective Roger Murtaugh in the movie Lethal Weapon, he said repeatedly, "I'm too old for this," and now he actually is. Is it A, Dan Gloucester, B, Danny Glover, C, Daniel Flounder?
Well, honestly, the only one I've ever heard of is Danny Glover. So I'm going to go with that one.
Yeah, that was a good move.
Danny Glover, who, by the way, when that first Lethal Weapon was released, he was like 38.
Yeah, he's too old.
I'm too old for this. He wasn't even 40.
Mm-hmm. Right. What do you mean? We're all too old for this shit.
Whoa, baby. All right, you're 3 for 3, Angel. Keep it rolling.
Number four, John Travolta was the leader of the Rydell High T-Birds and fell for Goody Two-Shoes Sandy in Greece. A, Dan Ziti. B, Daniel Lambrusco. C, Danny Zuko.
Oh, this one I don't know. Can you repeat it?
Dan Ziti, Daniel Lambrusco, Danny Zuko?
I'm going to go with Zuko.
Attaboy.
What? I got it?
Oh, wow, yeah,
Believe in yourself.
just a shot.
Thanks. I do.
All right, one more for you.
All right.
Minnesota's own racing legend earned the title of world's champion harness horse. A, Big Dan Crotch, B, Daniel Contagious Rash, or C, Dan Patch?
Another one I don't know, but I'm going to go with Dan Patch.
All right, you know the horsey.
I get the feeling that Angel is wearing a headset microphone and juggling 7 tennis balls while competing in this game.
Actually, I'm in the restroom.
Yes, perfect.
Great.
Okay, juggling different balls.
Thank you.
Well done, Angel.
Most of our listeners are.
Great 5 for 5 effort right there. Sit tight. You're in the bathroom. You're probably already sitting. Enjoy it. We're going to put you on ice while we see what your competition, what kind of level they're able to play to. So well done. Candace, who is contestant number 2?
Christina from Rogers.
Christina, good morning.
Good morning.
Are you in the bathroom?
No.
All right.
Are you juggling a number of tennis balls right now?
No. I'm
Okay.
just a little nervous. I hope I know my Danny, and Daniel.
I bet you do.
I just take a deep breath and let the magic of the game wash over you. Tony, take it away.
It's just us. Don't be nervous. Number 1, an acclaimed and influential actor known for his roles in My Left Foot, Lincoln, The Last of the Mohicans. A 3-time Oscar winner. Is it A, Daniel D-Day Simpson, B, Daniel Day-Lewis, or C, Julia Louis-Dreyfus?
B.
C, you're doing great.
Absolutely.
Oh, man.
You're doing great. The Daniel Day-Lewis, the Rosemary Gorman Hall Pass for life. Just saying. She's a big fan.
All right, dear. Number 2, the Karate Kid. He learned wax on, wax off, sand the floor, paint the fence, and from his crane pose, put his foot into the nose of his nemesis, Johnny Lawrence, to win the All-Valley Tournament. Is it A, Hong Kong Phooey, B, Dan Claude Van Damme, or C, Daniel LaRusso?
Ooh. I don't know if I know this one. 2 of them sound familiar. What were the 3 options?
Hong Kong Phooey, Dan Claude Van Damme, or Daniel LaRusso?
C.
Daniel
Oh, my
LaRusso.
goodness.
Daniel Son.
Okay, I got to ask. You said 2 sounded familiar. Was Hong Kong Phooey familiar or Dan Claude Van Damme?
I got mixed up with the B, yeah. I'm not
Okay,
good with
right.
names, and this is making me extra nervous.
No, you're
Okay.
fine.
Well, I'm just happy for a few moments there. I was right back in Hong Kong Phooey land and loving life again as a kid. But all right, Christina, you're 2 for 2. You're doing great.
Okay.
Stay the course.
Christina, number 3, singer-songwriter of hits like Longer, Same Old Lang Syne, and leader of the band. He was considered a soft rocker. A, Dan Flugelhorn, B, Dan Fogelberg, or C, England Dan and John Ford Coley?
They don't really sound familiar. C.
Oh, God, I'm so sorry.
It's my guess, too.
Yeah, Dan Fogelberg, soft rocker.
Oh, that's so
You know, if you haven't heard Fogelberg, you're okay.
Why does the term soft rocker
Sometimes
make
I'm
me
just
angry?
not good at names, and I might know of, but I just don't know the name. Darn.
Sure. That's
Tough
quite all
comment.
right.
That's all right. Keep going. We got a couple more for you.
Oh, I have to keep going. I thought I already lost because the other person.
There's no
Yeah.
losers here. There's just people that win more, and we're enjoying your company. So please just indulge us with a couple more chances here.
Your failure
Okay,
is
sounds good.
entertaining.
It is.
All right, number 4. He took the role of James Bond and made him a no-nonsense, sophisticated badass. Is it A, Dan Rather, B, Dan Deerdorf, C, Daniel Craig?
Can you repeat the question?
Sure. He took the role of James Bond and made him a no-nonsense, sophisticated badass. Dan Rather, Dan Deerdorf, Daniel Craig.
Oh, man. I don't even know.
Take a swing.
I will pick
Doesn't
A.
matter. Sorry.
Dan Deerdorf. Come on.
Daniel Craig.
Oh,
I really want to see Deerdorf in a Bond film now.
Cut it out, you guys.
Dr. No has to pursue the weak side football when he comes through the left. Jeez.
All right,
one more, Christina. We have confidence in you.
One more.
Let's get this one. Let's run this one into the end zone.
Let's go. In Caddyshack, he ignored the distraction of rival caddies blurting out his name and, aided by Carl Spackler's gopher-targeted dynamite exploding on the course, he sunk the winning putt, ensuring $80,000 and everybody getting laid. Was it A, Dan Marino, B, Danny Ocean, or C, Danny Noonan?
Ooh. Can you repeat the question?
Oh, just take a swing at it.
Listen to the name that he emphasizes. Yeah, no, right.
Sorry.
No.
Noonan.
This is not my game.
Oh, you did
I
fine.
got a lot of them right. And this one...
That's all right. Angel's a gentleman. He's going to give you the Eagles tickets anyway.
He's in the bathroom. Something could have happened in there.
I'm worried.
No, he's not.
Oh, he's white.
That's great.
Yeah, I didn't hear the flush.
The hell you say?
Yeah.
No, that's fantastic. Angel, you went 5 for 5. You absolutely were born for this game. Clearly, congratulations. You've got tickets. Yeah. I'm seeing a runner-up prize. Is that true?
That's true.
That's absolutely
April
true.
Wine. April Wine and Sweet are playing Friday, October 13th at the Treasure Island Event Center.
I remember April Wine, the drummer, being bald.
Really? Okay, that's news.
Long time ago when I seen him, though.
Yeah.
Well, if he's got hair this time, we're going to assume he's got a wig or it's a new guy. I don't know. It gives me something to look forward to. Congrats, Angel. You're going to see the Eagles. And Christina, you're going to see April Wine and Sweet at Treasure Island Event Center, October 13th. Thank you both for playing. That was fun.
Guys,
Thank you.
I listen to you every day.
Thank you, Angel,
Thanks,
very much.
Angel.
You are an
Goodbye
angel.
now.
Yeah.
Right on.
Can't just say bye now. Bye now.
Okay, bye now. Fun fact about the game today, right there at the end when Christina said, I knew all the answers yesterday, there was about a 5 or 6 second moment there for me. Total deja vu.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, wait, I've done this before. I've been here before. Which is what you think when you have a deja vu. It's the first time I've had one on the air on the KQ Morning Show, so I just thought I'd share that with everyone.
That's nice.
Can feel that.
So having already been through this, I'm just going to say, Candace, watch out. Something's about to fall on you. No, that's not true. I don't know that to be at all true.
I would prefer it to happen here if it happens anywhere.
I got to Google this bald drummer in April Wine. I believe Angel, but, still, this is the first I've heard of it. Anybody that has an idea of what someone in April Wine looks like, that just shows you've been paying very close attention. And by God, the drummer's bald in all the photos.
I just saw them, right before the pandemic, so didn't just see them, but out at Medina, was it 18 maybe? Yeah. Maybe it was 19, so I did not recall. So, yeah, all right. We have confirmed that the current drummer in April Wine is bald.
April Wine. Fun fact about April Wine. Who knows it? Where are they from?
Canada.
But specify. Come on.
Jerkwater.
Alberta.
No, it is, in fact, Jerkwater, Canada. No, it's Waverly, Nova Scotia. So, yeah, Jerkwater, Canada. Well done, Zep.
Nova Scotia. There's a fun place. All right, we're looking at purchases, talking about purchases that you regret. Maybe outrageous purchases. It's Amazon Prime these days. That's why we're doing it. It's timely. It's topical. If you want to make a contribution on the Maple Grove Lock and Safe Talk and Text line, that's 651-989-ROCK. I think we're going to have to talk about this nudity, too. All sorts of nudity. This guy that fought the one-legged man, then danced naked on a poker table in Vegas. That's how you do Vegas. And then some things you should never do at a nude beach. Hang tight.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show. It is Wednesday, July the 12th. The KQ Morning Show is hitting the road for a long weekend. Not this weekend, but it's not that far away. We're taking a road trip, KQ up north with BigDeck.com, October 5th through the 8th at Cregan's Resort on Gull Lake. Join us for a broadcast of the KQ Morning Show. Join us for a karaoke party. Join us for a happy hour boat cruise. Join us for live music. Book your stay now at 92kqrs.com. Sponsored by BigDeck.com and Cregan's Resort on Gull Lake. Come on.
Oh, it's going to be so much fun.
It is going to be fun.
Oh, I can't wait to see all the loons.
Yeah.
There it is. I knew it was something like that.
I think they're going to be out when we're broadcasting, probably. Are we broadcasting outside? Might get a loon in there, yeah. All right.
Oh, that's going to be nice. Quick question. Early October, still golf time of year, right?
Oh, hell
Bring
yeah.
the sticks up there.
Oh, yeah.
Come on. It's going to make me feel like a little. That's amazing.
Wow.
That's Candace.
See, I'm really good at loon noises.
I'm looking forward to a loon off up at Cregan's. It's going to be great.
You can't out-loon me.
Wow. Candace is really enjoying the Looney Tunes.
Karaoke doesn't start till 9, I see. We're going to have to fix that. That's kind of late for me.
Ooh. Yeah, that is kind of late. That's all right. We'll be up north. Who needs sleep?
You're right, Steve.
You go sleepy. We'll hit it.
Hey, by the way, speaking of being up north, speaking about being up at Cregan's Resort on Gull Lake, speaking about Minnesota in the summer, I don't want to tempt fate. I guess I should knock on wood while I say this. But where's all the mosquitoes I was hearing about?
Yeah, not a factor this year.
Is it just me? Is anybody else experienced? In the spring, there were reports that there would be more mosquitoes than normal. This was supposed to be a heavy mosquito summer. Am I just lucky somehow, or can anyone attest to the fact that there doesn't seem to be a lot of mosquitoes out?
We were saved by a drought.
Right. Yeah, there's not as many, but I did get bit this weekend quite a bit.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you got to hang out in some swampy areas.
Well, that's true. Well, I'm way down on swamp time. So yeah, that's probably that's got to be a part of it.
Yeah, mosquitoes are down. You know, that's and they really kind of go nuts. You know, the end of June, because July, August it starts drying out. Those little critters don't live long. They need that water, and they've got to be breeding and hatching.
And by the way, I'm not complaining. I'm happy to report very little mosquito activity so far this year for me.
Yeah, well, but I know some friends that were up north last weekend. Of course, we were up in Mille Lacs a couple of weekends ago. There's some skeeters out. But, yeah, I just saw an article yesterday that, the drought is killing off the skeeters.
Fair enough. I'm excited. I'm happy to say so far so good.
There's your good with your bad, All right, so the flowers are wilting. The gardens aren't going nuts. The farmers are a little stressed out, but less skeeters.
Taking the good with the bad. There's a story, a girl in the Philippines. The good is she's going to be fine. She's totally fine. The bad news is she just spent a week with a pair of scissors protruding out of her head.
Oh,
let's see. A young girl, a 9-year-old, was arguing with her 5-year-old brother. He picked up his backpack and swung it and smacked her in the head. There were scissors in the backpack, and he swung it with enough force for them to fly out and go right into her skull and just stick there.
Ooh.
And she was taken to the hospital because they were protruding from her head. Her dad intelligently did not remove them himself. He thought, well, hang on, they're sitting there. If I pull these scissors out, she might bleed profusely elsewhere. Crazy story. They get to the hospital. They couldn't afford the procedure they needed. So while they scraped together the money required, she sat in the hospital in a bed. They put her in. They admitted her. Scissors just jutting out of her head. It took a week.
What?
It was a week with those scissors just sticking out of this girl's head.
Come on, Doc. I'm good for it. Can we get the scissors out of the kid's head? I'll fill out an application. What do you need here? Really?
Yeah,
wow.
Family members are saying she wasn't really even in pain, but of course she's 9, so she was just bored to tears in the hospital. She couldn't do much, couldn't move around very much. There's a story online. I mean, I'm looking at photos of the little girl. And again, they finally got the scissors out. No brain damage, no permanent skull damage. It's all going to be good. But I'm reminded of a tale from Gorman lore. My brother Doug, he did not get scissors stuck in his head, but there was a pair of scissors sticking out between the two cushions of a couch, sticking straight up. And he sat down on a pair of scissors. True story.
That was accidental.
The scissors, now it was an injury to his butt cheek. There was not the scissors did not go, there was not a backdoor entry, if you will. But poked him in the butt cheek, and it bled profusely. And as a child, few things more traumatizing than seeing your older brother scream in pain and then have blood pouring out of his butt. Brutal.
Much like the brick that ended up on the jacket that I pulled off the shelf and hit me in the face, and suspected all these years later that my brother put the brick on the jacket. Was there any suspicion in the Gorman household? Perhaps this was a setup?
No, there was not.
Yeah.
It was there had been whoever had been using them was like, oh my God, I was looking for them. I thought they fell under the couch. There was a lot of activity in the house, and they'd probably been in that position for all of 5 seconds. He just happened to jump down on the couch. One thing led to another.
That makes sense.
This is the same older brother who also took within a few weeks of that, he got hit in the face with a rock, and it split his eyelid. And so then he was bleeding from his face profusely. That's not bad enough. If that wasn't bad enough, I was probably 5 or 6, and I open the front door of our house, and I see my brother coming up the front yard, and he's holding his face, and he's got a bloody face, and he's screaming. And my other brother behind him screams, "Doug got hit by a rock," which I heard as Doug got hit by a car. And I turned and ran back into the den where my father and my 3 oldest brothers were watching a baseball game, and I screamed, "Doug got hit by a car." And you've never seen 4 people jump off the furniture and sprint out of the house faster. And he's standing there screaming, crying in pain, bleeding, and my dad is like, "Oh my God," and my brothers, everyone fans out to go find the car. And there's no car anywhere. And I'm standing there, and I'm just like, hey, I did my job. I reported the news. And my dad goes, "Where's the car? Where's the car?" And there's a car driving by the house. And I went, I guess that's it right there. And I just pointed to a car. And my dad and 3 brothers run. Our front yard was a hill. They screaming down the hill and stop. They get this guy. There's a 3-way stop right in front of our house. And they basically assault this car. "Stop, pull over. They're screaming bloody murder. And this guy's like, "What the hell are you talking about?" And then my other brother, Dave, screams, "He didn't get hit by a car. He got hit by a rock." And when I heard that, I went, there is nowhere on this planet I can get to fast enough away from here.
Sir, can I get in the car with you, and can we speed out of here, please?
Yeah, man, my dad turned around and looked at me. I mean, it was brutal. And thankfully, Doug was really injured. He had to go get stitches in his face. So there was enough other things to deal with rather than killing the youngest child for misreporting. Hey, man, I thought I was doing my job.
What if Doug had been hit by a car the next day and you had to run into the house?
Well, I would have screamed, "Doug got hit by a rock," obviously.
Yeah.
I would have
balanced that scale.
I think about that, man. I can still see the look on my dad's face when he put it together. I'm like, oh no, this is really, really bad.
I'm picturing your dad like Hank Hill. What's wrong with that boy?
Oh God, yeah. No shortage of those moments in his life. Mm-hmm. Looking at his youngest son, he had a lot of athletes, and then there's me. Pretty good. I was a good ball player, but it took a while. I was very content to just air drum, listening to records all day long. He's like, oh, good Lord. Yeah. This boy's got to get out of the house occasionally. What are you going to do? Hey, we were talking earlier on things that people bought and regret after Amazon Prime Day. A lot of purchases, probably. A lot of people waking up today and looking at their emails going, oh, crap, I bought 3 sets of Tiddlywinks. Okay. Yeah. On the KQRS Facebook page, a lot of people were posting regretful purchases. Nancy wrote, "I bought a motorcycle, new, didn't know how to ride. Once I learned to ride, didn't like it, sold the bike."
Well, I mean, you took a shot at it. You just didn't sit around and talk about it. You went for it. Why not? It's not for everyone, especially these roads around here. Woo.
I like sticking to it though, because you know how many people have done things like that. You buy a motorcycle and then you realize you really don't like it, but you don't dare sell it because you just feel like an idiot.
You're right.
I like that she's like, yeah, you know what? On second thought, get this thing out of here.
Yeah, no kidding. I remember one time, this was a drunk purchase that I immediately regretted when it showed up, and I don't know how best to describe them, but I'm thinking of Opry House cowboy boots, probably circa 1970s. Remember the really sparkly, pointy-toed, really gaudy cowboy boots? It's kind of a pair like that. They didn't have sparkles on them, but they were like knee-high and red and black, and I don't know, some sort of skin was on them, snake skin or something, ostrich skin, I don't know what. But yeah, I purchased those, and they showed up in the mail. I was like, oh, my God. And I spent like $300 on them. Drunk, stupid. I'm going to wear them to appearances. Yeah, I put them on. They were like Gene Simmons boots. They were platform practically, super high. I thought there's no way. And I had those things for years. But then I never wore them out in public one time. But then I ended up donating them to the Salvation Army.
Dottie on the Facebook page wrote, ordered from the Omaha steak truck because I was high and hungry.
Yeah.
And it ended up costing me over $2,000.
Oh, well, I mean.
That's a lot of Omaha steaks right there.
We have the freezer.
It's a whole steer.
Yeah, no kidding, but a good buy.
Yeah, of course. Those things are great. Let's not kid ourselves.
Yeah, I know. I especially love when they just kind of pull up and you're just out in the driveway. Hey, I got to get rid of these before they go rancid. No, but that might be another meat place. I don't know. I don't want to throw them under the bus.
Yeah, no. Yeah, the good people at Omaha Steaks. I've had good luck in the past.
Yeah, no
I'm the guy who, when someone gifted me some of those, I was like, oh, that's great, thanks. And I'm thinking, oh, that's a weird thing, just giving me a box of meat. And then I grilled it and was like, that's the greatest gift I've ever been given in my life. Absolutely top notch.
Taco Bell after a night of partying. That's never, no, you can't regret that. You can the next morning for a short period of time, but yeah, don't regret that.
No, you're just living. I told my son the other day, he got some Taco Bell late at night, and I said, I am on the longest Taco Bell free period of my life. It's been a few years since I've had Taco Bell, and this was after decades of faithful service. But I did have that experience. There was one day when I realized it's just a bridge too far. It like something in a bad screenplay. It just tore me apart. I was a mess the whole next day, and I thought, okay, I got to tap out. I have served in the Taco Bell Army dutifully since the late 70s. I clearly it's time for a change.
See, I never regret diarrhea.
There's your T-shirt.
I never regret diarrhea.
Candace, can you say that again, but a little lower, a little softer?
Drop the music.
I never. I can't do it.
Oh,
I
yes,
can't do
you can.
stuff like
Come on,
that.
you were so close.
No.
Come on.
I can't do it. I'm not going to do it.
Taste it and enjoy.
All right, I'll say it. Mm-hmm. Candace never regrets diarrhea.
I never regret diarrhea.
You always feel like you're losing weight then, don't you? You're like, this is good. Get it out of me. Right.
Keeper.
I need it longer. More of it. Yeah, please. I recommend drinking fresh stream water out of northern Minnesota, where there's a heavy deer
up north,
population.
okay.
Nice.
Yeah. There are lots of parasites.
Oh, you'll have your opportunities.
Yeah, right, exactly. You'll shed some weight. Don't worry about that. You'll be bothing. You know, the old bothing, I think is what we call it when you're on the toilet with the trash can and you're bothing.
Yeah, 2 lines, no waiting.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, well, let's keep it fun. Let's keep it naked, right? We have 5 things you don't do out in, you talked about the skeeters. We don't have a lot of skeeters around because of the drought, the dry conditions. What a wonderful, fantastic way to be outside naked. I Googled it earlier, by the way. There are no shortage of nude campgrounds in Minnesota. They're all over the place. There's like 4 of them in the metro, for crying out loud. This radio station is considered a safe nude space. I didn't know that. But there are some rules that you have to adhere to. We'll have that and a lot more here at 9 o'clock. Hang tight.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. Zep, Tony, Candace, and Steve Gorman are the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show. It is Wednesday, July the 12th. Speaking of countdowns, Europe, final countdown, thank you. We're counting down things that are really important not to do at a nude beach. As Zepp mentioned, it's clothing optional at KQRS. Is that true, or are you just making that up?
I was just making that up.
Okay, all right.
Although I don't know that it's ever been tested. Have we had nudity? Tony, have you ever streaked through the KQ building?
Yeah, I have. Just this morning.
Yeah. Dang it. He always does it when we're on the air. We just miss him.
No reaction whatsoever. That hurts.
You're so going to be the one to go skinny dipping in Brainerd.
Okay.
I'm definitely going to make this happen.
Done?
Well,
All right.
Gee, don't twist his arm too much.
Right.
I'm totally going to make sure you skinny dip. And Tony goes, okay. Done. Sure.
Yeah, refreshing.
A legendary streaker, Tony Lee, of course. People in the Twin Cities still regaling, sitting around the holidays, regaling themselves with. Remember when Tony was naked over there? And remember when he was naked over there? But Tony, have you ever found yourself not necessarily streaking, but at a nude beach?
No, been to topless beaches, which is,
you probably,
a little bit of a shock.
You probably wouldn't like it. It's just a little too laid back for you because everyone's there naked and open about it and just nonchalantly walking around. You need some edge,
For Tony going to a nude beach, what he would do is run through it fully clothed.
Yes.
Scandalous.
Go the other way. That freak.
Children, cover your eyes.
They're in a parka.
I got one nude beach experience, and it was a senior in high school on a senior trip. I mentioned a senior trip earlier in the show with my brother's ID and Eddie Grant's Electric Avenue playing at all times. On that very trip, we were in Sarasota, and there's a nude beach there. We heard about it. It was near the beach where we were staying, and someone said, if you just walked north like a mile, you'll come to a clearing, and then there's some trees, and then you go to the other beach, and then it's a nude beach. And so, of course, 3 of us had to go check it out. High school seniors walking through a nude beach, bad idea. Bad idea, because we were violating all kinds of protocols by simply being there. We did not remove our trunks. We were, to put it very mildly, aroused. And, they frown on that at the nude beach. You're not supposed to be doing those sort of things. The rules, if you find yourself at a nude beach, these are the unwritten rules that pretty much across the world at nude beaches. Number 1 is keep your distance. Don't park your chair or blanket too close to anyone. Just like a regular beach, leave some room. And especially when everyone's naked, it just keeps everyone a little more comfortable that way.
Yeah, no touching, no leg wandering over to my blanket kind of thing.
Right. Yeah, no, it's very true. This is not on the list, but it's just general beach protocol. I cannot believe that people go to the beach and bring like a speaker, a Bluetooth speaker and stereos. Like the sound of the ocean waves is not enough. You need to add music to that. Well, it drives me crazy when people put their music on a public beach.
Well, sorry, Dad. I'm just trying to have a little fun and listen to a little
called headphones.
Yep.
On the
earbuds.
Well,
they're called headphones and earbuds.
Situations. Okay, if I'm with a bunch of people and we're having fun, I don't know. It can go both ways. I see what you're saying.
Okay, I get that totally. I totally get that situation. And if you're with a bunch of friends and you're having fun, that's cool. Make sure Steve isn't there. Okay. Steve's going to come over and turn it off and stare at you and dare someone to just stand up.
Bring a ukulele.
Let's go over and smash the boombox, Animal House style.
True story on the beach years ago, my wife and I, we totally quiet, secluded, nothing. And a group of people sat down probably 30 yards away. But the first thing I heard was the scream that kicks in the Styx song Renegade. The dig is up. And I'm like, oh my God. Like they didn't want the a cappella intro. They went right to the scream. I'm still annoyed about it. But number 2 on the list, no gawking. Don't stare at anyone for too long.
Why are you at a nude
And
beach?
if you strike up a conversation, maintain eye contact. Up here, fellas. The eyes are up here.
Mirror glasses, really dark sunglasses.
Yeah, I think that's the way to go.
I don't do that when people have their clothes on.
Here's another one. Don't ever talk about anyone's body. If you think you're paying someone a compliment, it's still not something you're supposed to do.
So these are basically the same rules as when we have our clothes on.
And by the way, it's like Fight Club. Don't talk about Fight Club. Don't talk about nudity at the nude beach.
But all right. I guess. I mean, I just thought the idea was to enjoy the nudity. Hey, look, we're all naked. What do you got there? That's cool.
No PDA, no public display of affection. Even if you're there with someone, we're all professionals here. This is my professional package.
All right, well, I guess. All right.
And then finally, don't take pictures. Or if you do, if you have to take a picture, make sure it's like a sunset and it's a selfie, and make sure no one's in the background.
Right.
What if you bring a sketch pad? Is that okay? Some charcoal etchings.
Yeah.
Oh, you probably sell those. Make the funny caricature of the nude one.
That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, make a cartoon picture of my penis, please.
No, it's a sketch of me sketching nude people. It's not nude people. This is like an Escher painting in the mirror type of thing.
Well, what if you do get aroused? What if you pop the boner?
You cover up, or you just go take a quick dip. It's like the old the man who loves swimming, Father Guido Sarducci. He always jumped in the pool in those situations.
No, that's not the right answer. You do nothing. Why? Because they won't notice, because they're looking at my eyes. If you notice,
right.
If you notice my erection, guess what? You're breaking the rules. Now we're just a couple of rule breakers. What else would you like to break?
Brian looks like he's about to faint. I wonder what's going on. He's got there's no blood to the brain. I'm not going to look down and wonder if there's a connection.
He's got that weird look on his face, that eaten grin.
Now, it doesn't say anything about can you lay out a spread like a big picnic basket? Can you? What if you're on a nude beach and you're watching a guy just like work a stromboli or something? That'd be strange, wouldn't it?
That would be. Well, I told my parents on a nude beach down in the Caribbean. Yeah, they were at a nude place after they retired. They decided to get everybody. When you retire, I guess you just want to take your clothes off. I can't wait. And but they had lunch with another couple. I said, you were all four naked. Yeah, just another couple. I'm looking. And Mom, she's a free spirit. I know Mom's going to do this, but I'm just staring at Dad while she's telling the story, and he's just stone-faced about it. I'm like, Dad, answer for yourself. All those times you said that to me in my life, what's the deal here? You're out there naked with another couple. And I think I've told the story many times before on the air that he said, well, so bad. The crumbs, though. I didn't like the crumbs. Apparently the crumbs get in hard-to-reach spots. So
sesame seeds.
Made it uncomfortable. But, the milkshake.
No, that's great. I think if we're packing a picnic for the nude beach, it's like only bring things like that, like saltines. Your bun better have sesame seeds on it, if you're going to. What about grilling? Imagine just someone grilling up a bunch of brats on a nude beach.
That sounds, boy, give me the apron.
Is that not allowed?
Well, it's just the grease. I suppose not. I don't know.
I'm not comfortable. I'm not. This is not something I'm going to go pursue and do some investigation into. I'm not going to find myself on a nude beach anytime soon. The idea of eating on a nude beach, the idea of eating lunch with another couple, like let's just all go sit at this table. Yeah. None. I mean, and who knows? Maybe later in life that'll just make perfect sense. But I've got an active imagination, and I cannot imagine myself doing any of that.
Well, someone tried to get me up. I forget the name of the place, but it's up near Stacy, just up the road here. On 35W, they have a campground out there, and she was like, we should go up there. It's a whole nude thing. And Brian, it'll take you about 2 minutes to get over the fact that you're even nude. And you'll just be walking around, and you'll just be enjoying the freedom of it all with everyone else that's free. And I thought to myself, I don't want to be that casual with nudity. I still want to have it to be, I want it to be fun and a little taboo. And, hey, we're naked together. Let's do things that people do when they're naked together. I don't want it to... In other words, I don't want to get to a point in my life where being nude is the same as being clothed. What's the point? But anyway, she said they have a good time up there, and comedy shows, live music, volleyball. Careful with the volleyball.
One of the things that's not on this list, although I think you can say safely that it's a given, is don't attack a one-legged man if you're naked.
Okay.
Can we add that? Because that's exactly what happened in Las Vegas. A tourist in Las Vegas attacked a one-legged man in a casino and then took all of his own clothes off and started streaking through not one, not two, but 3 different casinos.
Vegas, baby, Vegas!
He jumped onto a poker table and started dancing, again, naked, in a Vegas casino. This guy's from Long Island, New York, 35-year-old. and he got into a fight at the Flamingo Hotel. I like that this starts with he attacked a one-legged man. And then, but by the way, and that's just the appetizer. It's not even close to the main course.
I thought there was an ass-kicking contest punchline in there somewhere, but this guy he went full Vegas.
Yeah, completely full Vegas.
Oh my God, I'm looking. Did you see the shots? Were you talking about that? He's standing on top of is that a craps table? I think he's standing
he's
completely naked.
Boy, he's literally having a ball.
Yeah, the people's heads are about crotch high too. They can't turn away fast enough. I think they're breaking some rules there.
And by the way, how many cameras are on you at all times in a casino. Mm-hmm. So they've got like more shots than a Scorsese film of this guy.
Yeah,
all in high def. And let's see, Brian Danilzik. He's 35 years old, and something tells me he ain't never living this one down.
No way. So many photos of his face, too. Here in the police report I'm reading, this is from the police report, ran completely naked through the link there on the strip,
right.
to Harrah's, where he climbed atop a poker table, came and flaunted his genitals to all who passed, exposing his penis and testicles while gyrating. His anus to all who passed on the main floor. Oh, he then changed position to expose his anus to all who passed on the main floor. Okay.
See, I've gone completely opposite of the protocol. I still don't know what the guy looks like because I haven't looked at his face. I've only looked at the front office.
His scruffy bearded face is up there, Steve. I guess I'd rather get the Pinsky flash than the anal flash, though.
Sure. What do you say when you're friends with this guy? Someone in Long Island right now is looking at the New York Post going, I cannot believe what Brian did. And you're showing it, but then you're going to bump into him. You're going to see him at the bagel shop.
Oh, my God. He's laying down now on a blackjack table with both of his legs in the stirrup position.
Yeah.
Hands behind the hams there, pulling him up.
He literally looks like he's about to give birth to a food baby right there on the table.
People are digging it. You know how many phones I see out? I mean, all
Incredible.
of them. 100 phones. Dude, this is your life from now on. You just as well figure out how to monetize this. This is what you're going to be for the rest of your life.
Yeah, if I were him, I'd strongly consider never putting clothes on again. What's the point?
Should hire him to hand out flyers to one of the shows. That'd be perfect.
Oh, God. If they had a naked greeter at, where is this, the Link or Harrah's? Yeah, for sure. Make it happen. All right, where do we go from there? I'm just watching him dance. I'm looking at the TMZ website if you want to track her down yourself for a little mild entertainment today.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show. Look, if you don't care about the $560 million available on the Mega Millions, maybe the $725 million on the Powerball will get an eyebrow raised or two. Both jackpots over $500 million right now.
I know. This is the time that I started playing it when your odds are so astronomical as to almost not even be possible.
Yeah.
Which is a ridiculous sentence, but you're more likely to win and better off playing when it's worth just a mere $150 million. You have some reasonable, not even reasonable. What am I even talking about? So I'm going to go throw the money away. I realized you can buy them online now. I thought I'd really, found something fantastic. I was like, I can buy these online. I don't have to wait till I get to a gas station and then forget about it because I'm easily distracted by, I don't know, a Babe Ruth or something like that. But no, you go through like a broker site and then they add on their fee.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, right. They get their cut. And then you have to, I guess, trust them that they'll give you the money.
I guess these things aren't rigged, but at the same time, I do think that no one's ever gonna buy a winning ticket in like Beverly Hills. You know what I mean? Like no one's gonna buy a winning ticket in a wealthy neighborhood. I think the Powerball's I think that there needs to be a cigarette store in West Virginia that wins this one. It just seems like they're, when's the last time, somebody like out on the Hamptons won the Powerball? It's never that. It's always like some town you've never heard of in Ohio,
Right, exactly.
It's like the Publishers Clearinghouse, too.
Oh, man. That. I can. There was a great prank one year. At halftime of the Super Bowl, Ed McMahon used to go ring a doorbell.
Yeah.
You won $10 million. And there was, I'm trying to, it was just an online, but there was a Super Bowl party and somebody pranked his friend. He had the people showed up with balloons, and it looked like Ed McMahon at the front door, and it wasn't.
That's so not funny. It's bastards.
I know, it's not funny at all. It's hilarious.
Did you ever do that, though? Did you order, like, magazines or something just to get into the clearinghouse sweepstakes?
I did it once, and it was just like it was like came in an email or something. You click on something, and then all of a sudden it's like you can't get out. It's like it locks you in, and you have to just keep scrolling page. Don't want to buy any magazines. Don't want to buy any magazines. I'm like, what am I doing? I don't want to meet Ed McMahon. That's scary enough as it is.
Right, exactly. And
yes.
Hey now.
You've won, yes. We talked earlier on the show about things that we've purchased that we regret. I don't regret any of the lottery tickets I've ever bought in my life. And because, like we've said many times, hey, man, for that 9 seconds when you go, yeah, okay, I know exactly what I'm going to do with all that money. It feels good. I'm paying $2 for a moment of a little dreamscape.
A little fantasy. Why not? Yeah, live in it. Do you just buy one ticket, a $2 ticket? Do you do that?
Yeah.
All right. I know people that do that, which seems mind-boggling to me. Because
what do? You buy a bunch of them?
No, I buy $10 worth or whatever.
Okay.
Sometimes I'll throw a 20 in there or whatever.
Oh, I've done that, but for the most part, almost always I just go in and just like, give me Powerball, just one. Because you know why I do it though? Because I don't want to win the Powerball and then have the ticket with 10 sets of numbers because then I look desperate. I just want to be the cool guy who's like, no, I just bought one, man. Here, boom, you know that. I mean, you got to think about that photo you're going to take and you holding up your winning ticket.
Yeah, some years ago, after Randy Moss signed his big contract, he bought like $12,000 worth of Powerball tickets.
Really?
It's like you don't need to do that.
You already won the lottery, Randy. How would you like to see Randy Moss right after he signed his, then it was just a meager $11 million a year salary, win the frickin' Powerball?
Man, I thought he bought $12,000 worth of tickets to just give them out to strangers, but you're saying he just kept them.
Yeah. Yeah, you imagine
Are
going
you
over
check
that?
all those numbers? Who the hell's looking at 5,000 tickets?
Help me scroll.
Looked. Yeah, he never even looked. It was probably one of those, we have a winner. We're still waiting for them a year later to claim the money.
Man, that's nuts. We were talking about things we regret buying. The KQRS Facebook page, it doesn't end when the show ends. You can always get on there and let us know something you do or don't regret buying. Jeff wrote on there, I bought the cow when I was already getting the milk for free. Okay.
The engagement ring. Yeah, I see Ed put an engagement ring. Bitter at all?
Come on. How bad could it be?
Right, exactly.
Oh, righty then. How about a look back? History time.
So, my friend, how do we begin?
Who is in charge here?
Who is in charge?
He plays the drums.
Well, hello, Steve.
Hello yourself. Sports and music history on this day in 1979, July 12th, Comiskey Park in Chicago, the home of the Chicago White Sox. They had a doubleheader against the Detroit Tigers, and a rock radio station decided to hold a promotion in between games. It was Disco Demolition Night. They invited White Sox fans to come to Comiskey, bring your disco albums, and we'll destroy all of them on the field. Such was the blowback against disco, which had taken over the music world. Long story short, a whole lot of people showed up with disco records. A whole lot of people charged the field to get their records on the field. They did blow up a series of records. People were injured. A riot started. The field was basically trenched. They had to not only arrest many people on the field, they cleared the stadium. They called off the second half of the doubleheader. The White Sox had to forfeit the game. So actually the Tigers got a win after a bunch of disco records were blown up on the field. This is a real thing that adults okayed and greenlit and said, let's go through with it.
What could possibly go wrong?
How much old style could one radio station drink? All of it, apparently.
Yeah, right. You don't do it between a doubleheader. You do it at the beginning of the game when everyone's still sober and semi-behaved. You don't do it in Chicago. Period.
Or you go out to the shores of Lake Michigan and film it and then show the film on the Jumbotron.
There you go.
How about that?
All right.
Dick Butkus, speaking of Chicago, the Chicago Bears linebacker, I read a quote from him today. I'll just share it with you. He said, I never set out to hurt anybody unless it was really important, like a league game or something. Fantastic.
It's all business with him, isn't it?
All business.
The KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS.